last session we have completed with 4-stroke petrol engine, 4-stroke diesel engine and comparison between both of them. Now in today's session we are going to see 2-stroke petrol and 2-stroke diesel engine. Okay, this is Faizan Kagdi and I welcome you all to our lecture series of basic mechanical engineering. So let's begin with our topic. Now, as you can see on your screen, the diagram for a 2-stroke petrol engine has been displayed. Now, as the name itself suggests, 2-stroke engine, which means in 2-stroke entire cycle will be completed. Whereas if we compare with the 4-stroke engine, it was taking 4 piston strokes to complete one cycle. And all the process, that is suction stroke, compression stroke, power, was performed on a top side of a piston, if you remember, right? So whereas in this case, we are going to say that in one stroke, two processes will be performed. One process on top side of a piston, another process on the bottom side of a piston. Remember that in one stroke, two processes are going to be performed. Okay. Now let's see a basic construction of this petrol engine. As you can see, on a top side of a piston there is a deflector, a triangular shape is shown. Okay, so as the name itself suggests, the purpose of deflector will be to deflect something. Okay, and another thing is that in place of valves we are going to use ports. In a 4-stroke engine there were two valves, inlet valve and exhaust valve, right? And that also was operating by means of cam mechanism. Whereas in 2-stroke engine there will be 3 ports: inlet port, exhaust port and transfer port. Ports are basically pipes. Okay. Now next question comes that how these ports are going to be open and closed. So we would say that by motion of a piston. When a piston going to covers a port, which means the port will be closed, and when a piston uncovers the port will be opened. Next most important thing is that since in one stroke two processes will be performed, which means on a bottom side of a piston, air and petrol mixture will also enter into a crankcase. That is a housing which is covering crankshaft and crank. So in this case it is required that our crankcase should be hermetically sealed. That is, it should be airtight. There should be no leakage from a crankcase. Okay. So now let's begin. So in this engine, as I have discussed that there will be 3 ports: transfer port, inlet port and exhaust port. Now we are going to consider that let's say in a first stroke piston is at its top dead center position, and at that time let's say on top side of a piston there is already air and petrol mixture which is present at a high pressure and temperature. Okay, which means air and petrol mixture is in a compressed state when piston is at its TDC position, and at the same time on bottom side of a piston there is air and petrol mixture which has been sucked through the inlet port. Okay, that is, suction has been done on a bottom side of a piston. Remember this condition. At TDC on a top side of a piston there is already air and petrol mixture present from which has been arrived there from a previous stroke. Okay, and on the bottom side of a piston there is air and petrol mixture which has been sucked. Now what is going to happen? So the compressed air petrol mixture which is already present on the top side will be ignited by a spark plug. As soon as the ignition takes place, hot gases are going to be generated. Due to a high force, piston will move in a downward direction. So from TDC to BDC on top side, power stroke is performed. At the same time on a bottom side, whatever air and petrol mixture which was sucked will be partially compressed. Okay. Now during the downward motion of a piston, it is going to first cover the inlet port and will uncover the transfer port and outlet port, that is our exhaust port. Okay, and after completion of almost 80% of this power stroke, piston will then uncover the outlet port. At the same time and near about time, transfer port will also uncover. As soon as this outlet port is uncovered, hot gases which are generated during this power stroke will start to get out from a cylinder. At the same time, the partially compressed air and petrol mixture in a crankcase will be transferred on the top side of a cylinder through a transfer port. But what is going to happen? So while transferring to a top side of a cylinder, it will first strike the deflector. Now deflector will push that fresh charge towards the top side of a cylinder. Otherwise, what is going to happen, if deflector was not provided, then directly that air and petrol mixture which was partially compressed will get out through the outlet port, which was opening simultaneously along with that hot gases, right? So deflector purpose is most important. It is going to deflect that charge on the top side of a cylinder. Now the second thing which is going to take place is that since from one side hot gases are leaving the cylinder through the outlet port, and on another side air and petrol mixture, that is a charge, is entering into a cylinder. So what is going to happen, that fresh charge will push the hot gases to leave the cylinder. So this process of sweeping out of hot gases by means of a fresh charge is called a scavenging process. So this process is most important, and even while doing a scavenging process, some portion of fresh charge also leaves through the outlet valve. Okay, and because of this reason we can say that two-stroke engine now become obsolete, because there is a loss of fresh charge through the outlet port while doing a scavenging process. Okay, now one stroke has been completed, that is piston has reached its BDC position. Now what is going to happen? Now in a second stroke, piston will move from its BDC towards the TDC side. In this stroke, whatever air and petrol mixture which was transferred from a crankcase to the top side of a cylinder by means of a transfer port will be compressed, which means during this upward motion air and petrol mixture will be compressed. So the compression will be performed on the top side of a cylinder. At the same time, on the bottom side of a cylinder in a crankcase, partial vacuum will be created. As piston starts to move in an upward direction, it will first uncover the inlet port. As soon as inlet port is uncovered, air and petrol mixture will again begin to enter into a crankcase, and a suction will take place on the bottom side of a cylinder tube. At the same time, remember, at the same time, what is going to happen on the top side? So on the top side, compression will take place, and finally when a piston reaches its TDC position, our stroke will be completed, and again as soon as it reaches a TDC position, spark will be given, explosion will take place, and again a power stroke will be performed. Right, so this is a continuous simultaneous process which is going to increase the pressure and temperature of, and while this compression stroke, the pressure and temperature of air and petrol mixture will be increased. Finally, air and petrol mixture will be present in a clearance volume, and when it reaches its TDC position, our cycle will be completed. Again, what is going to happen? So we would say a spark is going to be given, ignition will take place. Due to fuel ignition, hot gases will be generated. That hot gases will exert its pressure on a piston, that is a high explosion takes place, power stroke is generated. Again piston will move from its TDC to BDC side. Again at the same time, on the bottom side of a piston, partial compression of that air and petrol mixture will take place, which was sucked during a suction through the inlet port in our previous stroke. Okay, so this is how two-stroke petrol engine is going to operate, and a cycle is going to be repeated. Okay, so I hope guys that you are clear with our two-stroke petrol engine. Now let's see similar type two-stroke diesel engine. So the main difference in a two-stroke diesel engine is that we are going to use fuel injector in place of a spark plug, and during a suction, that is through an inlet port, only air is going to enter into a crank case. Remaining working system is totally same as a two-stroke petrol engine. So let's see again this. So in this engine again we would say that there are three ports, that is transfer port, outlet port and inlet port. Now considering that, let's say piston is at its top dead center position, what is going to happen? So when it is at TDC position, crank will be totally straight, connecting rod will be straight, and within a clearance, let's say that highly compressed air is already present in a clearance volume. At the same time, on the bottom side of a cylinder, that is inside a crankcase, suction has been already taken place, air has been entered into a cylinder through the inlet port. Now this condition is during a TDC position of a piston, remember that. Now piston is going to move from a TDC to BDC, but how? As soon as a diesel is injected, so we would say that mixing of diesel fuel will take place evenly with a highly compressed air, and a temperature of air is higher than a self-ignition temperature of a diesel fuel. So sudden ignition will take place, and due to explosion hot gases will be generated, which is going to exert its pressure on the top side of a piston. Piston will move from its TDC position towards the BDC position. At the same time, on a downward side, partial compression of air will take place because of a downward motion of a piston. Now piston will cover the inlet port, and after 80% of this expansion stroke has been completed, or which means 80% of a power stroke is achieved, piston will uncover the outlet port as well as a transfer port. And since we know that once outlet port is open, whatever hot gases which are generated on the top side of a cylinder during a power stroke will start to get out through this exhaust port. At the same time, from a transfer port, we can say that partially compressed air which is present in a crankcase will be moved to a top side of a cylinder. But when it moves towards the top side, it first strikes the deflector. When it strikes the deflector will push that air on the top side of a cylinder so that that air doesn't get out through the outlet port which was open simultaneously. Okay, now what is going to happen? So this compressed air will push these hot gases, and again sweeping out of these hot gases through the outlet port will take place, and this process, as we know, is called a scavenging process. Now finally piston has reached its BDC position, one stroke has been completed, crank has been moved from its 0 degree position to a 180 degree position. Now in a second stroke, which is going to take place from a bottom dead center towards the top dead center. So what is going to happen? So it is quite predictable, right? That air which is present now on a top side of a cylinder will be compressed due to the upward motion of a piston. So when a piston starts to move in an upward direction, on a bottom side of a piston, suction will take place, which means partial vacuum is going to be created, pressure difference will be established, and through the inlet port, fresh air will enter into a crankcase. At the same time, compression of air will take place, that is, its pressure will increase, its temperature will increase, and finally highly compressed air will be present in a clearance volume. And we would say that again fuel will be injected, explosion will take place, and again a piston will move from its TDC to BDC. So this is how a cycle is going to be repeated. So operation is totally same as a two-stroke petrol engine. The only difference in a two-stroke diesel engine is that we are going to inject diesel fuel at the end of a compression, and second most important thing, through an inlet port only air is going to enter into a crankcase. So I hope guys that you are clear with the two-stroke petrol and diesel engine. Now the next most important topic which we need to understand is comparison between four-stroke engine and two-stroke engine. So let's see that. So the first point, as you can see, one cycle is completed in a four-stroke engine in 4 piston strokes, whereas in two-stroke engine one cycle is completed in a 2 piston strokes. So this is very obvious. Second point, one cycle completed in 2 revolutions of a crankshaft, whereas in two-stroke engine one cycle completed in 1 revolutions of a crankshaft. Next point, in a four-stroke engine, less power is produced for the same cylinder dimensions in case of a four-stroke engine. Same dimensions means same bore diameter and same stroke length. We would say that power generation in a four-stroke engine will be lesser, whereas in a two-stroke engine more power is produced for the same cylinder dimension and a speed. We would say that almost double power is generated in a two-stroke petrol engine. Why? The reason is that in two-stroke 1 power stroke is obtained, whereas in a four-stroke we are obtaining 1 power stroke. Which means if we compare with the rotational motion of a crankshaft, so when a 2 revolutions of a crankshaft is performed, then we get only 1 power stroke, whereas in two-stroke engine, in every revolution of a crankshaft we are getting 1 power stroke. So we can clearly say that in a two-stroke engine almost double power is generated. Next point is that heavier flywheel is needed in case of a four-stroke engine, since we know that the overall construction of four-stroke engine is quite heavier. Why? Because it is also using a cam mechanism. That is, a camshaft is provided to operate inlet and exhaust, whereas there is no such requirement in case of a two-stroke engine. So we can use a lighter flywheel in that case. Next point, since we know that cam mechanism is used and it has a 4 piston strokes, so we can say that occupation of space will be much higher in case of a four-stroke engine, whereas it is lesser in case of a two-stroke engine. If we talk about a thermal efficiency, so high thermal efficiency is of a 4-stroke engine, whereas thermal efficiency of a 2-stroke engine is quite less. So the reason is that lubricating oil consumption is much higher in a case of a 2-stroke engine, and because of that it can mix with our air and petrol mixture. Once oil gets mixed with air and petrol mixture, so the unburnt portion will be increased, and if unburnt portion is increased, so heat evolved will be lesser, as a result of which thermal efficiency will be less in case of a 2-stroke engine. Next is based on a volumetric efficiency. So 4-stroke engine has a high volumetric efficiency, whereas 2-stroke engine has a lower volumetric efficiency. Now next is based on the initial cost. So obviously that the construction of 4-stroke engine is much heavier in weight, more parts are included in a 4-stroke engine. So obvious case that high initial investment will be in case of a 4-stroke engine, whereas in 2-stroke engine initial investment is quite less. Okay friends, so today we are keeping up till here. In our next session we will see numerical based on this topic. So till then, stay tuned and thank you all.